What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Fun YouTube Bros, and this is the introduction to my good old nostalgia content. Since I am planning on making a lot of nostalgia content on my second channel to just try to regain nostalgia, I am planning on having 12 hours of content. Since the videos will be 3 hours, but this one is just 1 hour long. So basically, one video will be 3 hours, and I'll have like 4 videos on YouTube and 4 videos on live TV. 12 plus 12 equals 24, plus also this 1 hour video equals 25. So I would have 25 hours worth of content just with sitting in one room. And this is just the first room. I still have the second room, which is down at my aunt's house. Same thing as the third and fourth room down at my aunt's house. So this is the first one, second room down at my aunt's house, third room down at my aunt's house, fourth room down at my aunt's house. Then the fifth room is here at my grandma's house, which is also with this room. So that's this room's number 1. Number 6 is at my mom's place. Then that's it. So if we do 25 times 6 on here, open phone. Here is my calculator app. 25 times 6, 150 hours. So yeah, so a lot of content. And also, after this series, I could say that I have over a week's worth of content on my second channel, because I also have 5 hours of Random Crap, 4 hours of Random Crap, 3 hours of Random Crap, 2 hours of Random Crap, and 1 hour of Random Crap. And I'll probably have that finished by the end of this series. And I have 15 hours in all those videos combined. So 165 hours, and it's 168 hours worth of content. No, worth of things in a week, hours. Plus also all my shorts, since I usually film a 15-minute short after school. So once you add all that up into the end of that, and also if I have a major update video, where I could have that video could be 9 hours long, and I could film one of these nostalgia videos in there, but also I film a lot of other stuff, then I would have definitely over a week's worth of content on my second channel. On my main channel, I already hit it probably, I think, but I don't know. I still haven't confirmed, since I have a few more videos on my main channel than my second channel here, but after uploading this video and probably a few other videos, I would definitely beat it, since I do have to film 2 videos where I test out 2 products, which are over there, plus also a lot more. So I'm definitely going to beat it, but that's why I started uploading daily and creating a community post daily on my main channel. Then on this channel, I only upload weekly. Plus also with my YouTube short, sometimes I wait for 2 days. So today was day 10, so I could wait into day 12, which is Wednesday, do a 30-second video. Then same thing, but to Friday and do a 30-second video. So then it would cover Thursday and Friday, and also Tuesday and Wednesday. Plus also, I only have a limit of how many videos I can upload daily. So that also helps with that, since 2 days have passed, and since the limit is 1 day, I would have that passed already. So yeah, I'm going to get this thing started. So yeah. Also, I am going to usually have a big light on. So this big light, which is above my camera here, but in this video, since it's nighttime, Plus, also, I am getting a little tired. I'm not going to have that big light on just so then I don't burn my eyes out. So, yeah. Also, this week I am planning on trying to make an introduction video at every single place. And technically I can, since I could just go at my aunt's house one night. I could just go into my basement, film the introduction video, then go up into my living room, film the introduction video, plus also I can film 2 of the nostalgia videos. So, that would be 4 hours of content covered in the upstairs, and 4 hours of the content covered in the downstairs. So, yeah. There's that. Right now, this is just going to be with Family Feud here for this whole entire video, or at least most of this video, so yeah. And my TV just froze up. So, yeah. There it is.
On Fox One, you can stream all your Fox favorites on one app, so you can be there live.
How far answers on the board. Who do you text when you're feeling lonely at night? Your husband.
We're gonna take it.
Right. Now, Ronnie, I'm gonna be down here in a minute. I'm finna need to start thinking about your answer. Maya, who do you text when you feeling lonely at night?
I'm gonna say my best friend.
Your best friend. This answer right here gonna do it for me. Ronnie, who do you text when you feeling lonely at night?
Booty call.
You know what? I told you, I know what I'm talking about. 1-900 booty call. Rihanna, who do you text when you feeling lonely at night?
I'm gonna say my siblings.
Your sibling. Haley, if you give me an answer, we still alive. This time you got 2 strikes. If it's not there, the other family can steal and win the game. Who do you text when you feel lonely at night?
My ex.
My ex. I done had some lonely nights. I can promise you that it's not going to happen. Boy, well, wait a minute, look here now. We only got one answer left. You give me that answer. If it's there, y'all win the game. But you got 2 strikes, Brittany. If it's not there, the other family can steal and they will win the game.
Steve, I'm gonna say my coworker.
I'm gonna text my coworker. Family, here's the situation. I got one answer on the board. If it's there, your family steals, your family wins the game. But if it's not there, the other family plays sudden death. Who do you text when you're feeling lonely at night?
My mom.
My mom! Top 4 answers on the board. Name a musical instrument people strum.
A drum.
A drum.
Guitar.
Guitar. Anthony, Senior, name a musical instrument.
Here's a really weird statement. Display technologies are evolving like crabs. That's right. You might have heard of the concept of carcinization, where a ton of different animals that aren't actually crabs have independently evolved to look and behave like true crabs, implying that in many places around the world, this is what the perfect physique looks like. Just look at those beady little eyes. I think this kind of process is happening with displays too. LCDs, OLEDs, and micro LEDs, which are the three most important display technologies right now, are all trying to evolve into basically the same final form, at least on the high end, despite having started off as wildly different technologies. And to explain what I mean, let's talk about how various displays work, how they have evolved over time, and what common future they are all striving for next. Talking of beady little eyes, this video was sponsored by Insta360. After dominating consumer electronic devices from digital watches to calculators and more for decades, LCDs became the dominant full-color high-resolution displays in the mid-2000s too, when they quickly displaced the old CRT monitors and TVs. Unlike CRTs, which fired an electron gun at a phosphor-coated screen and therefore needed to be really quite bulky and heavy, LCDs, or liquid crystal displays, were our first true mass-market flat-panel displays. And here's how they work on a basic level. First, there is a backlight, usually emitting white light. Over that, we have two layers of polarizers, one only letting light with vertical waves through, and the other one only letting horizontal waves pass. A light wave can't have both directions at once, so by default, these polarizers block out the backlight, creating a black image. Now, to show anything other than black, there's a special material called the liquid crystal in between the two polarizers. And by applying a current to this liquid crystal, we can get it to twist the direction of the light waves that go through it, which in turn allows us to control how much of the white backlight is allowed to pass through the polarizer on the front. Turn it all the way into one direction and we have white light. Turn it all the way into the other and we have a black image. Now we just need to divide the screen into many smaller segments and to put an RGB color filter over it, and we have pixels that can create basically any color that we want. And with that, our basic LCD display is done, with little crystals twisting around light to create an image. And here's a macro shot of an LCD screen in my studio, by the way, where you can see what all those little subpixels actually look like in real life. And while all of that is great, LCD technology initially did have some pretty fundamental shortcomings. All of these layers that we put in front of the backlight mean that a huge part of the backlight actually gets filtered out before it ever makes it through the panel, which is really inefficient. And meanwhile, blacks couldn't be perfectly represented by this display because even the best polarizers let at least a little bit of the backlight through. This glowing gray backlight is a dead giveaway of any LCD panel. And meanwhile, viewing angles aren't perfect either because what comes out of the display is, by definition, very directional light. Now, scientists have come up with many different improvements to this technology, of which I think two are particularly important to mention. These are two big technologies that have brought LCDs much closer to becoming the kind of ultimate display form, the crab display world, if you will. First is that the backlight was turned from a single large panel, typically lit from one of the sides, into a grid of smaller and smaller LEDs. In current high-end LCDs, we have thousands and thousands of these backlights, so we call them mini LED displays, and you can see this type of backlighting in action in expensive iPads and MacBooks, high-end monitors like the Apple ProMotion monitor, and TVs. Having such fine control over the backlight allowed LCD tech to have almost perfect blacks for the first time ever, and it also allows panels to save power by not lighting up their parts that are actually in the dark. And the second big improvement comes from improving their color filters. See, regular color filters are really inefficient because all they do is block or filter out every wavelength of our white backlight that isn't actually the color that we want, meaning that the majority of the backlight just gets wasted. So instead, scientists have come up with quantum dots. These are special structures that, if they are exposed to light of a certain color, they themselves then emit their own light in another color. They don't really filter the light, but rather convert it into a new color, so there's very little waste here, and so in a quantum dot
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, it's his job to keep the power on. That's why he chooses Grainger for professional-grade products and next-day delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call, click, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Name a creature people sometimes get rid of by flushing it down the toilet.
I'm gonna have to go with after they go to the bathroom and they flush that down the toilet, they could call that a creature.
Look, I tell you. I gotta tell you. That's the criteria. I can't tell you the monsters that I've flushed down the toilet. I said, I ain't gonna lie to you. I've actually flushed Godzilla down the fucking. Alright. Top 7 answers on the board. We asked 100 married women. Name one word you'd use to describe Steve Harvey you wouldn't use to describe your man.
Sexy. He's sexy too, though. He's sexy. He is. But it's for the game. It's for the game.
Sexy.
I'm gonna go with famous Steve.
Famous. Edmund, talk to 100 married women. Name one word you use to describe Steve Harvey you wouldn't use to describe your man.
Handsome, tall and handsome. You ain't handsome, Steve.
That's not what that means, Edmund.
Oh,
You ain't handsome, Steve. Well, you get what, Edmund?
I ain't neither.
Come on. Pam, I talked to 100 married women. Name one word you'd use to describe Steve Harvey you wouldn't use to describe your husband.
I would say Steve Harvey is funny.
Funny, yeah. Brian, 100 married women. Name one
see, this is my backup answer because he took my answer. So,
Okay.
and it kind of like a payback.
Okay.
Oh.
No, I like that. Oh! We got 2 strikes, Nicole. Green family can steal.
Rich.
Bam! Yeah. That's that old ass money. And talk to 100 married women, name one word you use to describe Steve Harvey you wouldn't use to describe your man.
He can dress.
He can dress. You ask 100 married women, name one word you use to describe Steve Harvey you wouldn't use to describe your man.
Host.
Host. Number 7. 6. 4. Top 8 answers on the board. If Steve Harvey were the next James Bond, what would he do better than the previous Bond?
Pick up more women.
Pick up more women. You better know that. That's a damn fact.
His famous line, Bond, James Bond.
Bond. James Bond. Bond. James Bond. Or just put some hood in it. Bond. James Bond. Zabba dabba do that there. James Bond. They gonna play. Okay, Mimi, if Steve Harvey were the next James Bond, what would he do better than the previous Bonds?
Shoot a gun.
Shoot a gun! Dan, Steve Harvey, the next James Bond, what would he do better than the previous Bonds?
Well, obviously dress.
Dress! Nene, if Steve Harvey were the next James Bond, what would he do better than the previous Bonds?
How about drive a fast car?
Drive a fast car! Big Mike, we got 2 strikes. We gotta be careful. Love family can steal. Steve Harvey were the next James Bond. What would he do better than the previous Bond?
His acting.
His acting. All right, if Steve Harvey were the next Bond, what would he do better than the previous Bonds?
Steve, he would be funnier.
Yes. Funnier. All right, this question is obviously very embarrassing for me because obviously you don't think I do a damn thing better than him. Number 8. no shooting in here. Number 7. 6. Oh yeah. 4. Hard. Oh, that's too much tongue. Hey. Number 3. Top 7 answers on the board. Here we go, ladies. Fill in the blank. Steve Harvey is one of the blankest guys around.
Tallest.
Tallest.
Best looking.
Yeah, I wish that was number 1. Let's just pray that it's on the board. One more time.
Best looking.
Yeah, because it ain't going to be up there. No, I'm a lot of things. I ain't the best damn looking dude in the world. Best looking. Please, Jesus. God, I wanted that to be up there. Please, God, if you don't do nothing else, just let me be good looking before I die. All right. Mary?
Best dressed man.
Best dressed. Charles?
Best businessman.
Best businessman. Okay, Karen.
The funniest.
If that ain't up there. What is? Well, you find out real quick what you ain't. D? Steve Harvey's one of the blankest guys around.
Wealthiest.
I wish. Wealthiest now. Miss K, Steve
Yes, sir.
Harvey's one of the blankest guys around.
Baldest. Sorry.
Well, Miss K, that one thing about it, you can't have less. I shaved it all off. Baldest. Phyllis,
Yes.
Steve Harvey's one of the blankest guys around.
Oh, I'm gonna say you're the smartest guy around. You gotta say that. Oh,
Didn't you say you're a teacher? You can't ask none of my teachers that. He's the smartest guy around.
yes.
You know what? I know it's just 100 people.
Come on.
Sure don't think much of me, though. You ain't smart, you ain't good looking, you ain't got no damn money. You faking us, you broke, you can't dress. 2 strikes, just go on and stab me. The Mink family can steal. Steve Harvey's one of the blankest guys around.
Toast. One of the best toasts.
Biggest host. Hey, folks, let's come on and put me out my misery. Fill in the blank. Steve Harvey's one of the blankest, and that's really it. I'm nothing. One of the blankest guys around.
Nicest.
I am a nice guy. Nice guy. Goofy. Number 4. I hate this one. Number 2. So all of the people who said I'm the weirdest and the goofiest. No, I'm not gonna do that. Top 7 answers on the board, ladies. Here we go. Name a reason a woman might say, "My date last night reminded me of Steve Harvey."
AI is changing the game at lightning speed, inspiring today's leaders to reimagine how they deliver power.
We are one of the top-rated heating and air conditioning companies in the area, and as we get towards the end of the summer, we have a
He was a sharp dresser.
Yeah, he was.
He was funny.
Yeah, he was. He was funny. We gonna play. Fun guy. Now listen to it carefully. Name a reason a woman might say, "My date last night reminded me of Steve Harvey."
Was a handsome man.
I like the answer a lot. Not really what I'm known for. No, my mom told me. My mom told me a long time ago. Listen, we don't have good-looking men in this family. So dress nice. Give women something to look at other than you. That's a true statement. That's a true statement. And I gotta tell you, it served me well. That's it. Let's go. He's a handsome guy. Jennifer? Name a reason a woman might say, "My date last night reminded me of Steve Harvey."
Steve, you and he have the exact same mustache.
He got a mustache. Kevin? Name a reason a woman might say, "My date last night reminded me of Steve Harvey."
Respectful.
That ought to be up there. Oh, it ain't, but it All right, man, let's go. We ask 100 million. Name something you have more of than Steve Harvey.
I'm so sorry, Steve. Charm.
Charm! Humor? More personality than me? Him? All right, let's go, Jared. Name something you have more of than Steve Harvey.
You know, from the size of family I come from, kids.
Yeah, I hope you got more kids. Yes, 100 million. Name something you have more of than Steve Harvey.
I would have to say bills, Steve.
Oh,
Bills! Derek, y'all ain't got no strikes. Y'all just know everything. So let's go. Dr. 100 million, name something you got more of than Steve Harvey.
wait.
This is my man right here. This is my man right here. Wait! Lance, 100 million, name something you have more of than Steve Harvey.
I would have to say free time.
Don't believe that. Free time! Name something you have more of than Steve Harvey.
Say ex-wives.
Yeah. Ex-wives! All right, family, we asked 100 men. Be glad when this is over. Name something you have more of than Steve Harvey.
Well, Steve, we thought about it, and we're gonna go with nothing. Not gonna have anything more than Steve Harvey.
Nothing! Number 6. Number 4. All right, let's go. Point varies and double. We got the top 8 answers on the board. If Steve Harvey offered you a ride, what kind of car do you think he'd pick you up in?
Ferrari.
Ferrari.
Rolls Royce.
Rolls Royce.
A Bentley.
A Bentley. A Bentley. Tyler.
A Mercedes.
A Mercedes. Anthony, Steve Harvey offered you a ride. What kind of car do you think he'd pick you up in?
Cadillac truck.
Cadillac truck. Steve Harvey offered you a ride. What kind of car do you think he'd pick you up in?
I'm gonna say that fabulous Tesla.
Steve, I'm so happy to meet you.
Well, I'm happy to meet you too, Miss Pat.
Thank
What do you do?
We had, Ed and I had 8 children and 19 grandchildren.
Wow. A good breeder. Hey. Didn't want to go there with you, Miss Pat. Tell me something that shrinks.
Body parts in cold pools.
Moderate beer consumption lowers your risk of heart attack by 25 to 40%.
Lies.
Instagram has some controversial medical information on it, but Facebook is known to be the home to medical conspiracies. So let's check out these health posts. The best breakfast for you based on your zodiac sign. This is a meme, right? Like, this is not a Facebook health post. A Gemini should eat Raisin Bran. A Leo, it looks like a wrap from Dunkin' Donuts. This is absolutely redonkulous. Health benefits of dance. Boost memory, improve flexibility, reduce stress, increase anxiety, improve balance and posture. Okay, look, is dance gonna boost your memory? Probably not. Is it going to improve flexibility? Probably, because you got to keep your hips moving. Anytime you go through a wide range of motion, you're going to improve flexibility. Are you going to reduce stress? Yeah, because it's awesome to dance. Are you going to increase energy? Yeah, because you're exercising. Are you going to improve balance and posture? Yeah, because look at these moves. I actually took some dance classes at the beginning of this year, and they got shut down because of COVID. My dance moves are awful because of COVID, and I'm sticking with that statement. How to calm a crying baby in 1 minute. Ooh, I like this. These pressure points will help to relax them. I'm scared where this is going. Head and teeth. Wait, whoa. It says head/teeth, and then they're pressing on the baby's toes. I don't know what's going on in this video. It already seems highly inaccurate. Chest. And then the full length stuff. Wait, I'm so confused. Don't listen to this. If a baby's crying, A, you need to figure out what could be going wrong. Are they hungry? Have they wet themselves? Is there a part of their body that's bothering them? And if you've checked all those things and you think your baby's all right, you should really try and move the baby around. You can run on one. Some people are born with just one kidney and live healthy lives. Can you live with one kidney? Absolutely. In fact, I know people who have donated a kidney to their loved one or a compatible match. Hold on, I believe Selena Gomez received a kidney from one of her friends. But you have to take really cautious steps once you only have one kidney. You really need to make sure you're well hydrated, you're not taking medications that could potentially harm your one kidney, because you are at higher risk for certain medical problems, obviously, because you don't have a backup kidney. Miracle Cure. I already love the name of this page, because we all need a miracle cure. It doesn't exist, but we all need it. Try these sleeping positions to improve your health. Well, why does it say try these sleeping positions when it says 2 out of 3 of those are wrong and only 1 of them is right? I don't like that sleeping position that much. I mean, for certain people it might be comfortable. Keeping your arms like that elevated above your head can really cause some impingement issues, especially around your rotator cuff. Your rotator cuff is made up of 4 muscles that attach to your shoulder, really give it fine motor control. This is the infraspinatus, supraspinatus, teres minor, and subscapularis. Sometimes that one gets stuck in my head. When you have them in this position, that can sometimes put pressure there, decrease circulation. You wake up sort of with a dead arm. I'm not a huge fan of that position. Laying on the side is fine, laying on the back is fine if you have the right pillow and mattress combination. Ideally, you want to have a firm enough bed where you have support so your back doesn't completely collapse, but not so firm that it puts pressure on you as a side sleeper into your shoulder, because that could also be quite uncomfortable. A little pro tip here, depending on how much you weigh will also play a role in the firmness that you experience from a mattress. If I, as someone who's 200 plus pounds, lay on a medium mattress, I might find it too soft because I'm heavier than if, let's say, my sister, who's like 120 pounds, lays on that same mattress. So always test them out if you have the option. 7 things about your tongue color can reveal about your health. Stick out your tongue for a quick health checkup. Before we start, know that these videos are almost never accurate because there's variations to human color, variations to organs, and there could be normal anatomical variations that this thing can't take into consideration. So it's bound to make huge generalizations which end up inaccurate. But let's see how inaccurate. Light pink, you are healthy. And they painted the tongue the color of a neon highlighter. If your tongue is the color of a pink neon highlighter, you're a cartoon, because I don't think I've ever seen that in a human body. Whoa, what a jump from pink. If your tongue is red, you might be suffering from an infectious disease. This is the definition of healthcare associated, health information associated anxiety. This is where we always make the joke, you go on WebMD, you find out you have cancer. This is the problem. The fact that this says your tongue is red, it means you have an infectious disease. This would scare the life out of you. If your tongue is a color that you're not used to seeing, talk to your doctor about it. Do not assume you have an infectious disease, because Because honestly, I would look at my tongue and say that it's red right now. And I don't have an infectious disease, I promise. This is why beer is healthy. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Beer increases bone density. Beer has a high concentration of silicon, which helps to bind muscle and bone tissue together. It increases bone mass. Not 100% certain about silicon, whether it helps bind muscle and bone tissue together. But I will say that whatever ingredient in beer helps you have strong bones can most definitely be gotten from other sources without the need for alcohol. So already I'm going to say this is... Moderate beer consumption lowers your risk of heart attack by 25 to 40.
Lies.
They probably found an awful, poor quality, uncontrolled study, and they're trying to draw conclusions from it. This is absolutely not true. In fact, the studies that we've used in the past to say that there's some benefit to drinking alcohols usually came from studies related to wine consumption, not beer. In fact, heavy drinking increases the risk of heart disease. Alcohol is actually cardiotoxic to the chambers of your heart, the muscles of your heart. It can actually cause dilated cardiomyopathy, where your heart becomes...
Turn these lights out.
Okay.
Because you have your TV on.
Yeah.
I'll see you in the morning.
Okay.
So enlarged that it's floppy and doesn't work well in pumping blood throughout your body. Enjoying a beer also helps increase the amount of healthy HDL cholesterol in your body. No, it does not lower your cholesterol. Drinking beer often will increase your cholesterol level overall and cause more problems, leading to plaque formation, which is why having a high cholesterol is worse. So no, beer is not a solution for any of these problems thus far. Whenever I give advice about alcohol, my advice is always, if you don't need it, don't use it, because there's no real proven benefit from it. If you do use it, make sure you use it in the smallest amounts possible, so that if there is a potential benefit, you're maximizing that and minimizing the harms. Top 9 benefits of grounding. Oh, this is my buddy Makola. Did you know that the energy from the earth can help you live a healthier life? Yeah, like if you go out into the sun, your body can create vitamin D, improves sleep quality, and promotes feelings of restfulness upon waking. Now I know. This whole time, my patients have been struggling with sleep. I should have just told them to go out for a walk on grass without their shoes on. Reduces muscle stiffness and soreness. I mean, these claims are just ridiculous. At least give me how that could happen. I'm gonna make a stretch and say there's an electrical charge leaving my body and it becomes one with the earth and that makes my muscles relax. Like, come on. Like, we have to be reasonable. I'm gonna summarize this video for you without lying. This is the honest version of this video. Hey, go outside and go for a walk in nature. And I guarantee you, because you're happier, because you're less stressed, you're breathing fresh air, you're seeing green all around you, which is actually more pleasing to the eye, you're gonna feel more relaxed. You're gonna have better health outcomes overall. You can keep your shoes on or take them off, whatever's most comfortable for you. And I don't need to promise you anything, because overall it's a healthy thing. Ooh, the best hangover cure. Just so you know, a hangover is usually oversimplified when we think about it. Hangovers are all sort of different symptoms and simultaneous things that are happening within your body. Dehydration, alcohol intoxication, diarrhea, nausea, gastritis in the stomach. All these things are happening simultaneously. So a hangover is really a combination, a confluence of symptoms, if you will. If anyone knows how to cure a hangover, it would be a chef. No. If anyone would know how to cure a hangover, it would be a scientist. 2 ingredients, ice, 2 parts Ferdinand, and 1 part what? My man's solution to hangover is to drink more alcohol. Yeah, if you're having alcohol withdrawal, it will ease your withdrawal symptoms. But that is not a cure by any means. Tastes like a minty pine cone. You know what? Sometimes I do wake up in the morning, I'm like, wish I had a minty pine cone taste in my mouth right now. How is that pleasurable? Breaking courts discreetly confirm MMR vaccine causes. No, it doesn't. And that's not what the court confirmed. In fact, just today, there was a medical article published from the Journal of American Medical Association. They looked at 5 countries, 2 million participants. They found 22,000 of them who were diagnosed with autism, which is 1 in 90. And they found that 80% of the autism cases were inherited. That means not due to vaccinations or anything external. That's so important to talk about, because those who are anti-vaccine will hijack some of this misinformation and try and convince you of their points to scare you away from vaccines, unnecessarily. This is about the truth. And if we're trying to do the best for our patients, we can't just go off of unproven hypotheses and theories. We need to look at the evidence. And there's been a study of 600,000 children who've been vaccinated, no link with autism found. This study with millions of people finding that autism 80% of the time is mainly inherited. These are important things to look at. Please do not fall for the misinformation that comes from a lot of these natural sources on Facebook. This is probably the worst form of misinformation on Facebook. Check out these hilarious TikToks.
Thursday night football returns. Commanders, Packers at 7 p.m. Eastern, only on Prime.
When you work on cars as much as I do, you learn what matters most. And for me,
If you've had surgery, you might remember starting to count backwards from 10, 9, 8, and then waking up with the surgery already over before you even got to 5. And it might seem like you were asleep, but you weren't. You were under anesthesia, which is much more complicated. You were unconscious, but you also couldn't move, form memories, or hopefully feel pain. Without being able to block all those processes at once, many surgeries would be way too traumatic to perform. Ancient medical texts from Egypt, Asia, and the Middle East all describe early anesthetics, containing things like opium poppy, mandrake fruit, and alcohol. Today, anesthesiologists often combine regional, inhalational, and intravenous agents to get the right balance for a surgery. Regional anesthesia blocks pain signals from a specific part of the body from getting to the brain. Pain and other messages travel through the nervous system as electrical impulses. Regional anesthetics work by setting up an electrical barricade. They bind to the proteins in neurons' cell membranes that let charged particles in and out, and lock out positively charged particles. One compound that does this is cocaine, whose pain-killing effects were discovered by accident when an ophthalmology intern got some on his tongue. It's still occasionally used as an anesthetic, but many of the more common regional anesthetics have a similar chemical structure and work the same way. But for major surgeries where you need to be unconscious, you'll want something that acts on the entire nervous system, including the brain. That's what inhalational anesthetics do. In Western medicine, diethyl ether was the first common one. It was best known as a recreational drug until doctors started to realize that people sometimes didn't notice injuries they received under the influence. In the 1840s, they started sedating patients with ether during dental extractions and surgeries. Nitrous oxide became popular in the decades that followed and is still used today, although ether derivatives like sevoflurane are more common. Inhalational anesthesia is usually supplemented with intravenous anesthesia, which was developed in the 1870s. Common intravenous agents include sedatives like propofol, which induce unconsciousness, and opioids like fentanyl, which reduce pain. These general anesthetics also seem to work by affecting electrical signals in the nervous system.
Normally, the brain's electrical signals are a chaotic chorus as different parts of the brain communicate with each other. That connectivity keeps you awake and aware. But as someone becomes anesthetized, those signals become calmer and more organized, suggesting that different parts of the brain aren't talking to each other anymore. There's a lot we still don't know about exactly how this happens. Several common anesthetics bind to the GABA-A receptor in the brain's neurons. They hold the gateway open, letting negatively charged particles flow into the cell. Negative charge builds up and acts like a logjam, keeping the neuron from transmitting electrical signals. The nervous system has lots of these gated channels, controlling pathways for movement, memory, and consciousness. Most anesthetics probably act on more than one, and they don't act on just the nervous system. Many anesthetics also affect the heart, lungs, and other vital organs. Just like early anesthetics, which included familiar poisons like hemlock and aconite, modern drugs can have serious side effects. So an anesthesiologist has to mix just the right balance of drugs to create all the features of anesthesia, while carefully monitoring the patient's vital signs and adjusting the drug mixture as needed. Anesthesia is complicated, but figuring out how to use it allowed for the development of new and better surgical techniques. Surgeons could learn how to routinely and safely perform C-sections, reopen blocked arteries, replace damaged livers and kidneys, and many other life-saving operations. And each year, new anesthesia techniques are developed that will ensure more and more patients survive the trauma of surgery. In ancient Greece, headaches were considered powerful afflictions. Victims prayed for relief from Asclepius, the god of medicine. And if pain continued, a medical practitioner would perform the best-known remedy, drilling a small hole in the skull to drain supposedly infected blood. This dire technique, called trepanation, often replaced the headache with a more permanent condition. Fortunately, doctors today don't resort to power tools to cure headaches, but we still have a lot to learn about this ancient ailment. Today, we've classified headaches into two camps: primary headaches and secondary headaches. The former are not symptomatic of an underlying disease, injury, or condition. They are the condition. But we'll come back to them in a minute, because while primary headaches account for 50% of reported cases, we actually know much more about secondary headaches. These are caused by other health problems, with triggers ranging from dehydration and caffeine withdrawal to head and neck injury and heart disease. Doctors have classified over 150 diagnosable types.
Well, that's the end of this video, and bye.